Cody, have you ever heard of the metabolic window or like the anabolic window?
Yes, it says that you should eat like within 20 minutes of working out to get the maximum muscle growth.
Right. And if you don't, then you basically lose all of the benefits you might have gotten from that workout.
Yes, I've heard that.
Well, luckily, it's not true.
Really?
Yeah, the idea that you have to refuel right after a workout used to be supported by science. So don't be too hard on yourself if you thought this too. The term for this was the metabolic window of opportunity. It was based on the fact that exercise breaks down muscle fibers and depletes your stores of glycogen, which is the sugary substance your muscles use for fuel. The metabolic window was supposedly a time frame when your body was primed to absorb the maximum amount of carbs and protein to rebuild muscle and refill your glycogen stores. And like I said, a bunch of studies have backed this up since at least 1985. But a bunch of studies have also landed on the opposite conclusion, saying that the time you refuel doesn't really matter. Some even suggested that fueling beforehand would get you better results than fueling after a workout. All these differing results inspired sports researchers Brad Schoenfeld and Alan Aragon to do a meta-analysis in 2013. That's a study of other studies where researchers collect all the data from the past studies they can get and analyze it together in one super-powered result. Their meta-analysis found that consuming protein right after a workout had a small but statistically significant advantage over waiting a few hours. But there were a few problems with the data from some of the studies they analyzed. For example, a lot of those studies didn't give the same amount of protein to control groups and experimental groups. That's why Schoenfeld and Aragon decided to perform their own experiment for a study published in December 2018. They had resistance-trained men take a protein supplement either right before or right after lifting weights. And after 10 weeks, there were no differences in the amount of muscle growth between the two groups. That's not to say that fueling for exercise isn't important. It's just easier to do than having to stick with that tight metabolic window you may have heard about. As long as you consume enough protein throughout the day, your body will have enough nutrients to rebuild muscle and restock its energy stores. Eat regularly, and you'll be fine.